All right, take 3. Why are we having all the technology issues today? Okay, so once everybody gets back on, I'll explain what I'm going to do about the game, because I don't think it's going to save. Actually, it could. No, the game crashed. I didn't close it, it crashed. So I don't know what it's going to do. But if it doesn't save, since we technically already won, because that first down, Washington was out of timeouts. So all we had to do was need the clock and end it. So we're going to win the game. So if it didn't save, I'm just going to force win. Or I'll just hop back in. Okay. I guess it did save. Do we have to redo that third down play? Imagine if Washington wins because we had to redo the third down. Okay, we don't have to redo the third down. Cool. So we can just finish it off. All right, the Vikings win 10-8. That was as low scoring as it gets. Lochte, get it back. I don't have these problems normally. It's just today. Herbo was pretty average. Malik Willis, 15 of 16. Pretty good. Nobody ran the ball well. Both offenses were just brutal. Which is weird because these are two pretty talented offenses. What's good, Crockett? Welcome in. The Rams so far today are 1-1. But Seattle is 0-2. So you guys are currently in first place. I don't think we did a playoff picture update after week 15, so we'll do that now before we start. Lochte crashes his stream 5 times a day. Yeah, totally. So this is what it looks like going into... Oh, we did do it before the game. It doesn't update because the Vikings would be 7. Can I, lose? Watch the Ravens win now. Wait, why am I on the Wizards? Did our game saved, right? Good. Okay. I guess we're going to use the Wizards here. Yeah, you scored twice against the Aviators and had, was that the game where you had, 100 yards? I think so. Oh, we're already on the Wizards. We'll start with them. The Wizards. Ooh, they beat the Falcons 42-14. Good for the Wizards. So Orlando's pretty much a playoff lock. Mahomes is pretty much the MVP lock at this point. I mean, is there an argument? He's been unreal the second half of the year. So, in a battle of, in my opinion, the two best teams in the league right now, the Wizards smoke them. Not even close. Wow, that's a surprise. The Aviators. Oh, I'm thinking that right when Hector comes back, the Huskies win one. And Hector was pretty good. 4 touchdowns. Wow, a lot of sacks. 11 total. So this is good news for all the teams at the bottom. Cleveland, or I guess Denver, because they had Cleveland's pick. Baltimore, London, Brooklyn, Chicago. This helps you for your draft pick. The Bats beat the Patriots. Ooh. So Austin and Washington are now tied for first. We'll have to check what the head-to-head between those two teams is. 6 tackles for loss for who? Josh Sweat. Boston, Washington. So they split. Okay. The Bears. They beat the Bucks 48-28. Again, those teams at the top of the draft, this is good news for you. Kellen Mond was very good. Derek Carr was very average. The Beats lose to the Giants 22-14. So the Giants, the Bats, and the Commies are all... Yeah, I know the fan is a little bit loud, but it's hot. So, as I was trying to say, there's a 3-way tie in the NFC East. Did you lose? We have not gotten to your game yet. So we'll have to check what the head-to-head is between the Giants, the Bats, and Washington. I guess after next week, once we figure out what happens there. But Washington might choke the division again. Brooklyn is now 5-10. If they were not already eliminated, they are now eliminated. I don't live in Michigan, so I can't tell you if it's hot or not. The Bison lose to the Tigers. So the Tigers now have 9 wins. The Bison stay at 8. Jeff Sims was better than Tom Brady, though. McCaffrey and Kamara were both quite good. Oh, Jameson Williams' injury was not a big deal. That's good. 2 sacks for Barnett. He's had a good stream today. The Black Knights lose to the Saints in overtime. You're a Lions fan, you're supposed... Yeah, but misery... I don't know. It somehow came to me when I was like 6. So, there you go. Jalen Hurts was pretty good despite the loss. So, London has 4 wins. We'll see what happens with Baltimore and Cleveland, but those are currently the 3 worst teams. 70 degrees isn't that hot, but it's kind of hot. I would say 75 or higher is like hot. 70 is good, but 75 or higher is hot. Oh, dear Lord, 45-7. Diablos massacred the Broncos. Baker Mayfield was very good. Matt Corral was not. Next season, I'll stay in my shed for another 24 hours to make Dan the second. It do be human. That is true. Dalvin Cook with a big game in the receiving game. So the Broncos are probably out of it at this point. They're, I think, 7-8. Funny story. Remember when I told us he was 5'3"? No, I don't remember that. Because I don't think that's true. Cleveland? Thank you. So I think we're back in first place of the division. Nick, if there's anything I can do to pay you, let me know. Thank you for beating Detroit. Because we need all the Lions losses that we can get. So now, I think that... Wow, Tommy Tremble, hello. So I think that means since we're both tied at 8-7, and we have the head-to-head, the Vikings are back in first place. Trevor Lawrence is like 6'6", first off. And second off, I said like a foot. So I'm not exactly a foot. Oh, I'm not even close to a foot shorter than him. The Bucs, we already saw, they allowed 48. The Cardinals barely lose to the Shamrocks, 30-24 in overtime. First of all, I didn't even realize Carson Wentz was back. So I take it that Tua, who started off the game really well, must have gotten hurt. Carson came in and actually played pretty well. Oh, it was probably because Tua kept running it. That's probably how he got hurt. We'll see if that was a serious injury or not. Wentz played well, though. Why would he cut him? He played well. Wow, the Jets beat the Chiefs. The Jets were horrible at the beginning of last year and made the playoffs, and they're seriously about to do it again. Elijah Chisholm wasn't even that good for his standards. Remember when Hector's backup was better than him? I do remember that. That was fun. Jonathan Taylor wasn't even good. Tua was hurt. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a serious injury, but I imagine that's why Wentz came in. The game doesn't bench people. I think the best team in OFL 22 history has to be the second half of the year Jets. And the worst team might be the first half of the year Jets. Jets are weird. The Diablos was all they won by like 38. They are red hot. They've had a good stream today. The Dolphins have won 3 in a row. They beat the Pioneers 24-21. So the Dolphins and Jets are both now fully a game ahead of New England. So the Patriots have officially completely choked that division away. So the Dolphins could make the playoffs. Austin Jackson allows 4 sacks, 3.5 of which go to Shaq Barrett. The Falcons, we saw they got smoked. Washington lost. What? The Seahawks have lost 4 in a row. It is total free fall in Seattle. The Niners have won 3 in a row. They are playing very well. Nick Nader has been hoping for the Jets and Niners to lose, and I think they're both 3-0 today. Not a good day for Nick Nader. Best team in OFL history is the Huskies against the Vikings in their first matchup of the year. I'm not even going to argue that. You're kind of onto something. The Giants, we saw they won. The Huskies won. The Jags, they need to win. And they lost by 4. So their offense is playing well, but their defense is kind of blowing it. Bryce Young, 4 touchdowns in the battle of the rookies. C.J. Stroud, not bad, but not as good as Bryce Young. Derrick Henry was very good again, but there's only so much he can do. Jalen Reagor with 100 yards. That's something. The Jets won. The Lions lost. The Panthers won. The Pats lost. Pioneers lost. The Rams beat the Ravens 17-10. So the Rams are now fully in the driver's seat in the NFC West. They are 2 games ahead of Seattle. Trace McSorley was better than DJ Uiagalelei. I hate the fact that I just said that sentence. Nobody ran the ball well at all. The Jags, I don't think have won since the Ravens. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. Is this the first time IT's players ever made the playoffs? Because barring a collapse, the Rams are going to make it. That's probably everyone. Yeah, we've gone through all the games. All right, cool. 3 weeks down, 1 to go, which will be a Simcast game. Trace McSorley was on the Huskies. You are right about that. Players of the week, Bryce Young, Patrick Mahomes again, along with Jermaine Pratt and Shaq Barrett. Made the playoffs your rookie year as a quarterback. Oh, yeah, you did. I remember that now. So I guess this is the first time since then. So the Falcons have clinched the division. The Shamrocks have clinched the division, and that's it. Nobody else has clinched a playoff spot. AFC North, Dublin has won the division. All 3 of these teams don't really have much of a shot. The Ravens are now listed as the #1 pick. The Wizards, with a win, I believe, clinched the South because they had the head-to-head over the Tigers. The Bison are still right in the thick of things, and the Jags are not in a good spot. The Jets and Dolphins are now tied for first place in the East. They are both red hot. The Pats are ice cold. The Diablos with a win. They clinch the West. Pioneers and Chiefs very much still in it for a wild card spot. The Vikings are now somehow in first place in the North. The Lions are tied. The Falcons clinched the South. The Bucks are in a good spot for a wild card spot. New Orleans and Carolina both still alive. Washington, the Giants, and the Bats are all tied. I guess Washington still holds the tiebreaker, though. And then in the West, the Rams, with a win, they clinch the division as well. You just realized what happened to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they moved to Brooklyn. That's what happened. So the new playoff picture. Diablos, Wizards, Shamrocks, Jets. I'm pretty sure the top 4 here didn't change. Tigers, Pioneers, Bison. So the only real team in the AFC is the Jets. All these other teams are not real. In the NFC, Falcons, Rams, Vikings. We went from 8 to 3 in 1 week. That's how weird and crazy right now the NFC playoff picture is. Washington, Seattle, the Giants, and the Bats. So they have the 3 8-7 teams all in. The Lions are now out currently, and I don't think anybody else has 8 wins. All right, final game of the day, the Pats and the Beats. The Pats kind of need to win to keep their hopes alive. Siri, give me a number between 1 and 2.
It's 2.
2. We're going to use her the Beats. At the end of the day, Hector... we did split, so I wouldn't call it the Hector owning us. But, yeah. Hector owns Malik. Then why is Malik better? Oh, it's snowing! Yay! I wish we were watching this game now. First snow game of the year. So New England has to win to stay alive. The Beats are hoping to lose for the purpose of their draft pick. So it would benefit both of these teams for New England to win. But New England is not winning. The Beats are on top. New England's hanging in there. They're only now by 5. All right, we're going to start to move a little slower. 28-16. Can New England find the end zone? They get stopped. They get the ball right back, though. They're again moving it, and they score. 4 minutes left. New England's down by 5. The Beats do not have a very good rushing game. Bijan Robinson gets 6. 3rd and 4. 28 yards for Ridley. Are you watching the lottery tonight? I am, and I am terrified. Actually, not really. I'm a little scared, But I am nowhere near as scared as I was last year, because last year we didn't have a franchise player. This year we do. 3rd and 10, 28 yards for Bobby Trees. And they score. So we'll move faster. It looks like this game's about over. Oh, hold on, not so fast. Onside kick is recovered by the Beats. 9 for Bijan. All right, so the Brooklyn Beats are going to win it 35-30. How do I feel about the Suns? Fear poverty. That's how I feel about them. Imagine being scared. I mean, I'm not that scared, mainly because I have no idea who I want. Because the top of this draft class is just so weird. Like, all of the top guys sort of have, like, one big question mark that kind of scares me, which is why I'm, like, kind of against. That's why I would, if we had the number 1 pick, if we were to stay, the guy I'd want would, at this point, be Jaden Ivey. Although, nobody else has Ivey as the number 1 pick. Which makes sense. I don't think he has Facilian as Chet, or Paolo, or even Jabari. But even with a ball-dominant guard that we already have, I would still pick Jaden Ivey number 1. Sign DeAndre Ayton in the offseason. Boom. Cavs finessing the lottery and getting Jabari Smith. I have no idea how to feel about Jabari Smith. He's like the weirdest prospect to me. I just kind of get a weird vibe about him. Who should the Knicks... Well, I guess it depends on where you end up. I mean, what would you guys be in, like, the 10 range? So, like, Benedict Mathurin, Ty Washington, Jalen Duren, somebody like that? If he falls, like a Shaden Sharp. All right, the Bison, they need to win, and they do not win. They lose to the Wizards. So Orlando clinches the AFC South. The Pistons are not cheeks. Well, I mean, we are, but we won't be in a year once we get Jaden Ivey and DeAndre Ayton. So the Wizards clinch the South. The Bison are definitely on the outside looking in, although they still have a very real shot. Bill O'Brien also got a weird vibe about DeAndre Hopkins. That's true. Sometimes you get stuff wrong, sometimes you get stuff right. Bill O'Brien was wrong, and he's wrong a lot, so that's his fault. Suns to draft a point. Yeah, but the problem is the Suns with a late first-round pick, they don't have a high probability of hitting. So, like, if it's the NFL, your late first-round pick probably will become a good player. In the NBA, it's nowhere as certain. In the NBA, late first-round picks have a much lower track record. Hell, even the top of the draft is a total crapshoot in the NBA. Which is why I think it's harder to scout basketball than football. Because football, chances are, the top players in the draft are usually going to be good. Maybe there's 1 or 2 exceptions. But basketball is just, who the hell knows? Jeez, Denver, they're completely falling off the face of the earth. They lose 34-9. Josh Allen is fully back from his injury, and he outplays Matt Corral. The Broncos looked like they could be a threat at one point this year. Now, not so much. The Browns. Ha! They win 17-0. This horrible defense allows nothing. So Cleveland's not getting the number 1 pick. You know who might? Well, no, Cleveland doesn't have their draft pick. It really has been a rough day for Denver. They went 1-3. Cleveland went 3-1. Sucks to be a Broncos fan, am I right? But, yeah, the Ravens are in a good spot for that top pick by scoring nothing. Oh, my God! Trace McSorley, 5 completions. No, that's sacks. Well, still, 5 picks. Yuck! So it's not even that Russ played well. It's just that the defense, for whatever reason, finally decided to play well. Nick Bosa, 3 sacks. Who had all the interceptions? Oh, my God! Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah had 4! Is that a record? Good Lord! He had 4 picks in a game! That has to be a record. Right? Like an NFL record. Jesus Christ! He had 4! I gotta Google this. It ties a record. The most anyone's gotten in a game is 4. 20 players have done it. Most recently, D'Angelo Hall in 2010. Good God. I wonder who's going to win Player of the Week. Huh, I have no idea. He had 4. That's incredible. Who's your competition for number 1 pick? You, London, and the Huskies. Turn your I mean, there's only like 5 minutes left in the stream, though. Derek Carr probably going to win Player of the Week, too. My mind is completely... I've never seen someone get 3 picks in a game, let alone 4. That is unbelievable. Ooh, the Cardinals beat the Rams. If Seattle loses, the Rams still clinch the division, though. DJ Uiagalelei was pretty good. Tua was fine. I guess Tua's injury wasn't serious. Najee played well. IT Thomas was pretty good, too. Are you the first person to not want the first overall pick? Yeah, probably. What can I say? Trace did his job. He sure did. He helped out the... Wow, the Chiefs are alternating in wins and losses since Week 9. The Diablos beat the Pioneers 24-17, so the Diablos are going to clinch the West. Had they only had big streaks, they won 6 in a row, they lost 5 in a row, and they've won 5 in a row. What a weird team. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing as we get to the playoffs. To be that streaky. Because that means they could win it, but they could also completely lay an egg against like a 7 seed. The Dolphins, did we see them already? We did not. Jesus Christ. So the Dolphins go 4-0 today. Washington, on the other hand, goes 0-4. Sam Howell with 5 touchdowns. Can we just sim the last... We already did. This is the last week. We already simmed it. Oh, you mean week 18? How about no? Why would I do that when we can make it dramatic during the weekend? The Falcons, we already saw them. No, we didn't. They lose to Seattle. Okay, so Seattle finally wins. So that means the NFC West has not been clinched yet. The Rams still probably will. It's just 1 week. Yeah, but that's a bad idea. What's the point of that? Why would I want to do that? When week 18, Kenny Moore had 2 picks. Why would I do that when week 18 is like the most dramatic week of the year? The Niners finally lose to the Aviators, 24-19. The Giants, they lose to London. Okay, interesting. So, this means the only teams with 4 wins are the Ravens and the Huskies. If the Huskies win this week, which we haven't seen yet, that would mean Baltimore would be the only team with 4 wins. As for the Giants losing, the NFC East continues to be the weirdest division. The Huskies lose to the Lions. Oh dear, that's not good for us. So the Lions get win number 9. They are now 9-7. So the Huskies and the Ravens are the 2 worst teams in the league at 4-12. So they are... Dan is going to go to one of those teams, unless the Huskies just choose not to, which would be dumb. But whatever. So if that's the case, Dan is probably going to the Ravens. Keyword is probably. If Baltimore wins, then things could get weird. Joe Burrow is up for trade. Okay, I'm interested. The Jags finally win. They beat the Saints. So Jacksonville still has a very slight shot. I feel like this is always how Pepper Jack enters Week 17, where his team is like the smallest shot, but they still have a shot. Why would you draft Hector why would you draft Dan when you have Hector? Because Dan's better. That's why. Like, a lot better. Get Hector to block. Move him to the offensive line. The Jets lose to the Bats. So this means the Dolphins are in first place alone in the AFC East, and the Bats are in first place alone of the NFC East. Elijah Chisholm and Dak Prescott were both very good. Chisholm has quietly had a really good year. Bison might be out. Did we see the Bison game? I don't think we have, so who knows. Wait, no, we did. They lost. So they're not... I don't think the Bison are out, but they're probably not in the top 7. The Lions won. And this game right here determines the winner of the division. Even if we lose this week, this game determines the winner of the division. If the Vikings win or lose. So I know which game I want to watch week 18. So our game really doesn't matter all that much. Because we have the head-to-head tiebreaker over them currently. So even if we lose and win and have the same record, then we'll have the head-to-head. If we win today and win week 18, then we'll just have a better record. The Tigers beat the Shamrocks. Chicago is red hot. They have done well today other than the watch game. So Chicago's pretty much good to make the playoffs. Dublin already clinched. So they're just playing for seeding. Jameson Williams is on another level right now. The Vikings. We win! Okay, again, I don't think this game really mattered. Next week is the one that matters. If we win the division or not. But this is helpful for our wild card chances. So I guess it is a good thing that we won. Hector moves Dan out of quarterback. I will spend 36 hours in my shed and create Dan the second. Honestly, I'll just put Dan at quarterback just for the benefit of the Huskies. Jalen Carter with 2 sacks. Okay. Is that everybody? We saw the Wizards, right? Yeah, they won. We saw the Aviators. We saw the Bats. We saw the Bears. We saw the Beats, and that's who we used. Hector at running back. All right, players of the week, then we'll do standings, injuries, schedule for week 18, and then that'll wrap it up. I think we're going to go through stats at the beginning of the next episode. Players of the week, no surprises. Derek Carr, Sam Howell, Kenny Moore, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with his 4 interceptions. 4. So how many teams have clinched? The Diablos are now in. The Wizards are now in. The Tigers are now in. The Rams are now in. So 6 playoff spots have been clinched. 8 are still up for grabs. AFC North, not a whole lot to talk about here. Dublin clinched. Everybody else is pretty much out. The Ravens still have the number 1 projected pick. AFC South, the Wizards beat the Tigers twice. So the Wizards should have clinched the division. Okay, that's weird. The Tigers are in the playoffs regardless. The Jags and Bison both have a slim shot, but they both have a shot. The Dolphins now lead the East, but far from a guarantee. The Jets are right on their tail. New England has completely blown it. And then in the West, the Diablos lead the division. The Chiefs are in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. The Pioneers, maybe. Did you lose out? You went 1-1. You won the Simcast game, but you lost the others. The Vikings still lead the North with us and Detroit winning. Week 18, Vikings play the Lions. Winner wins the division. The Falcons clinched the South. The Bucks probably will make it in. These two are probably out. The Bats are now in first place of the East with with them winning and these two losing. And then the Rams are still in first place of the West, but they do not clinch it. So let's see what the playoff picture now looks like. In the AFC, Diablos, Wizards, Shamrocks, Dolphins, Tigers, Chiefs, Jets. The Jets are 8-8. You've also got the Jaguars at 8-8, the Bison at 8-8, the Pioneers at 8-8. So there's a 4-way race for the 7th seed. In the NFC, Falcons, Rams, Bats, Vikings. How do we move down? We literally won. That's weird. Bucks, Lions, wow, Seahawks are 7. Don't they have 9 wins? I think Seattle's 9 wins. Right? Yeah. So, chances are these will be the 7, but if one of these 9-win teams lose, that could open the door for Washington, Arizona, or the Giants. Everybody else is officially out. Injury report. Couple new ones for London. Javonte Williams, partial PCL tear. The Dolphins with quite a few. Greg Rousseau is hurt. Mac Jones has another 2 weeks. That could be a big deal. The Giants have a slim shot. Chase Young, upper arm fracture. That helps Toronto's tank. Tim Patrick, ruptured disc. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, torn MCL. He could miss the beginning of next year. Ooh. Jacoby Drowns, compound foot. Keenan Allen, broken toe. He will not be available week 17. That's kind of the big deal. Landon Dickerson, torn labrum. Ezra Cleveland, torn labrum. I feel like these two both already happened, right? I think. Dante Hightower, broken collarbone, although the Bears are already kind of out. All right, let's check the Week 18 schedule. We're going to watch probably 2 games, and we're going to send Cass for rest. One of the 2 games we're watching is the Lions and the Vikings, because that game literally determines the winner of the division. Other games we could consider. Jags, Shamrocks. Probably not because of the Bears. No, because of London. This game is important for the tank. This game's actually really important. Holy smokes. No. Yes. Yes, this is an important game. But Bison have a slim shot, so maybe. This is a good game. The Wizards and the Rams. Ooh. You guys have no shot at making it. Cardinals and Cleveland. Arizona has a slim shot. No. Diablo's already in. Jets have a slim shot. Well, the Jets actually not really. If they win, they're in, so not that slim. Important game for Pioneers. Important game for Seattle. Important game for Washington. This game might determine the winner of the East. So that's a good game. All right, so that's going to wrap up the stream here. Weeks 14 through 17 in the books. We've got one more week to go, Week 18, which is always my favorite week of the year. We're going to go through that one probably Sunday, so make sure to stay tuned for that. We're also going to do the award stuff on Sunday as well, which should be a lot of fun. So, yeah.